and that's Connie Paus. Connie is a long-standing member of the Wild Oats Club. She's currently our Sergeant at Arms and was busy setting up the room today in a different format. It was scary. She's in charge of managing our equipment and the setup, and of course, that's the topic of her speech today. Connie's speaking from the Visionary Communication Path. It's a level 4 speech, required project on communicating change. Madam Timer, Connie's asked for the green at 5, yellow at 6, and the red at 7 minutes. Fellow Toastmasters, please join me in welcoming Connie with her speech, Meeting Room Setup.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's so exciting to have members and guests in the room. As Brad indicated, we have on our executive a variety of positions, one of which is the Sergeant at Arms. That's me, responsible for our meeting room, our club equipment, and our setup. As we've moved into hybrid meetings and have expanded our equipment, this is a really important aspect of what we do. I'm just going to play with the view here a minute. No, it's not going to go. Over the past number of months, we were online very quickly. We moved to hybrid for a short period of time, back to online exclusively, and now hopefully on a permanent basis we will be hybrid. So we'll have a room set up, people in person, as well as our Zoom participants. We've tried a whole lot of different arrangements in this period of time. We've had feedback from some of our guest Toastmasters as well as our members. We've talked about it as an executive, as a club. My change proposal is that starting today, the room setup that you see here, I'll see if I can give it to you. I'm going to talk about it in some detail, but the room setup that we have right now will be a permanent arrangement. Now, first of all, as I go forward, I'm going to talk about the impact for various meeting participants. Online attendees may think that this doesn't affect them, because it applies exclusively to the people who are in person. But I'm here to tell you that it does indeed impact you and your participation in the meeting. First of all, when we have a standardized arrangement here in this room, the look of the room will be consistent. So you will know what to expect as you're viewing what it is that we're doing. And I hope that as an online participant, you're also going to see far less confusion in the room, because believe me, we've had lots of confusion over these past weeks trying to hammer out this arrangement. The biggest impact, though, is indeed for our in-person attendees. By having a diagram, a consistent diagram on what to do, I think that it will provide consistency, clarity, and alleviate confusion for everyone. Now, typically Brad and I are the people who set up the room, but it's really important that we have other members who are able to step in and help us out. Because this is best as a two-person job, there will be times when one or the other of us isn't able to attend. So we need to be able to call on someone else to fulfill the assistant role. And in the case that both of us, for example, might be away, it really will be critical to our good meetings that we have members to fill in. By having a diagram and a consistent experience, anyone who steps in only on an occasional basis, I think, will feel less intimidated. They'll know what it is that they are looking for. And for our members and guests walking into our meeting room, I think that this will provide a professional arrangement rather than the chaos and the confusion that we have dealt with in the past. The consistent arrangement will mean that our guests and our members will be able to walk in, take a seat, and settle in to enjoy the meeting. Now, if needed, and if they wish, like Athena did today, they can help. They have the chance to help out. But for the most part, I hope that you'll be able to sit down, relax, and enjoy. I sent out a copy of the meeting room setup to our members in the past. Bev, are you able to put that on the screen? That would be very helpful. Bev will share that on the screen because it's just a little bit easier that way. Our attendance in person has certainly varied a lot in this hybrid setting. And therefore, what I did was I created two different scenarios, one for a small group, say 2 or 3 people in attendance, such as we had a couple of weeks ago when it was only Kevin and I, and one for the larger group. For both versions, at the front table, you'll see the lectern and our new laptop. For anyone who has a major speaking role, you will come to the front of the room to speak at the lectern. You can see at a glance the meeting room on our main laptop. It could be placed beside, but we're getting a little bit of congestion there. So Brad's idea is to have it raised up on a box, and therefore it's the Zoom meeting itself is right in front of you at the lectern. We do have a camera that faces the lectern. That's our new HD camera that we purchased earlier in 2022, and that gives this view right here. We also have a second table parallel to this one that has more equipment on it. It has our older laptop because we need 2 Zoom logons, and there is a camera attached to that that gives you the view of the meeting room, the attendee group. We've experimented a lot with the placement of that in-person camera, and based on some feedback from one of our guest Toastmasters, Laurel, we placed it, or I proposed that it be placed in the front with the camera so that we're always seen as looking towards the front and our faces are in view for the Zoom group. For a smaller group, that you can see on the page that we can set up a third table immediately, again, parallel to the first, and just sit there. That's what we did on August the 29th. It worked quite nicely. But if the room is larger, which we have today, we have 5 people in attendance here. We need to add additional tables that enable us to sit around those tables. The camera can capture the entire group. We need to add a screen. We have our projector, and because there's more people, we need more distance as far as sound goes. We also add speakers to it. Fellow Toastmasters guests, this is my vision of what I think will work the best for Wild Oats and enable us to have the best quality meetings ever. As I mentioned, we've tried different things, and I'm sure we're going to tweak this arrangement as well. We'll discuss it at executive meetings, at club business meetings, and with members in general, because feedback is how we learn in Toastmasters. This is a safe place for us to try new things, whether that's in our speeches or meeting room formats and meeting room structure as well. Change is the only constant that we have in this world, and I believe this is a change that affects us all. As your Sergeant at Arms, I look forward to hearing your comments about this arrangement, and I will report back to all of you as we make adjustments. Mr. Toastmaster.